Good morning. Welcome to Youth Sunday School. I'm back from my paternity leave, and so I apologize if there were any interruptions. We had a rather early start, not very early, just about a week, 2 weeks, to our son's arrival, but it definitely threw my schedule off. I meant to have Sunday schools all done for the whole time, but things just got crazy. Today is Mother's Day, and that's a day in which we celebrate we celebrate our moms, but also I wanted to talk a little bit about the scripture and Mother's Day and how they interact. And so, on Mother's Day, we celebrate our moms, but we also have to be careful because we always must recognize that there are those that have a bad relationship with their mom, or those that have don't have a mom, that they haven't known their mother for some reason. That there are those for whom their mom is not someone they really want to think about. There are those who struggle to become mothers, that have had a very rough journey. That there are those who, for whatever reason, biologically cannot become mothers. There are those who, adopt a child. And then there are just those who watch a child. And, on Mother's Day, we have to keep in mind all of those persons, because it's important that we don't just think only of one way of being mother and ignore all these people and their experiences who have been through very rough things. Because there's also, fathers who act as mothers, who are single dads. Just like there's mothers that act as fathers because they're single moms, and they have to fulfill all these different roles. Our scripture in the lectionary for today is the love your neighbor scripture, where Jesus says the greatest commandment is love the Lord your God with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself. And I think it's important for Mother's Day to have that scripture, because it talks about the fact that we should love someone as though they're us, as though they're our own, part of us. When I was in college, I got a summer job in Omaha, Nebraska, where I was living, and the problem with that was that my dorm was closed. You can't live on campus in underclassmen dorms, and the apartment that my friends and I were going to be living in was not ready. Initially, it was being built, and it was going to be ready for occupancy before by the summer, and it wasn't. They had some delays with construction, and so it was going to be ready for school, but it would not be ready for the summertime. And so I needed somewhere to live because I had a job, and I was committed to that job, and I needed to start that job. And so I had a good friend who went to a different university, also in Omaha. And so I reached out to him, and he said, my parents live in Omaha. I'm home. I think you could probably live with us for the summer. And I was like, okay. So we talked to his parents and worked it out, and I was able to live in their basement, and help out around the house, watch baseball with his dad. And his mom became a mothering figure, because I lived with him all summer, but I actually ended up living with him another summer as well. I had plus a constant, go over for dinner and stuff during the school year. And so this was someone that I had not known very long, and yet because of the relationship that we forged, became a mothering figure. Likewise, my grandma and my grandmas were mothering figures, to me, because they taught me things, and they were around to help, when I was young, and help now, and teach me things. And so, loving neighbor is sometimes someone in our family, and sometimes it's not someone in our family. So we can love and be a mother to someone who isn't a part of our family, but yet is a part of our family. Oh, good, my coffee's ready. You can hear it beeping in the background. Mother can be much more encompassing than just the biological person who has had a child. And it's important, I think, for us to remember that because, we can be so exclusionary when we talk about Mother's Day that there are a whole bunch of people that we can harm with how we do Mother's Day and talk about it. And it's actually one of the reasons that I don't make a big deal about it in church as a part of worship because, first off, it's not a church holiday like Pentecost, Easter, Christmas. It's something we often celebrate in churches, but I find that it can really cause harm because for a lot of people, they feel excluded because they were a mother to, a lot of different kids, or they were a mother to, a child that is estranged from them for some reason, or they just weren't able to have children. And so, it's always important for us to make sure that while we want to celebrate and honor people for the different things that they have done, we also have to be cognizant of others and how we balance that in a way that isn't harmful for them. So if we lift up this idea of motherhood as one thing and exclude everybody else and ignore those who've had a rough go of it, or things of that nature, we can hurt them. We can harm them. And so, even on Mother's Day, it's important to remember all of the different ways that somebody can be, a mother. Because even God is a mother. There's scriptures that talk about God as a mother hen that wraps her arms around us. That God is a mother who embraces us into her bosom. Stuff like that. And so even God can be talked about as a mother, and it's important for us to remember that to be a mother isn't one thing, that one way of being mother isn't better than another way of being a mother, and then we have to find that balance in how we honor and celebrate other people. And so today I hope that you'll find time for whoever in your life. It could be a friend that is your age but has been a good influence on you, or it could be nobody, depending on your situation. But that I hope that you find one person who's been a positive influence in a way that you consider mothering to you, and that you would reach out and let them know about that and say thank you. And then hopefully you can take lessons that they've taught you, or you can take lessons that you wish you would have been taught and use those to help mother somebody else, to be a positive influence, hopefully, in their lives as well. So I hope you have a happy day, and I hope to see you in worship today, online or in person. But I hope you think more about what does it mean to love my neighbor, and how can I live that out in a way that is positive on everybody's life so that they might look back and say they were part of my life in a good way. Have a great day.